with Billy Genius, the marketing legend. Thanks so much for joining us on Perform, Billy.
Thank you for having me, brother. Appreciate you.
So a lot of people may or may not know about your story, but you started doing 600 calls in a call center. And I guess that you had enough, and then you decided to do your own thing. Give us some background on that.
Kat, you know, it's always hard, like when you tell your story, because it's like I don't want to bore anybody, but I'll tell you guys this. I didn't have any money, have money, and I got it by getting really good at advertising. And like anybody else, I just hated doing something every day that I couldn't stand and didn't believe in. I was working at a call center, yes, cold calling people, but asking them if they wanted to go back to college online. And I didn't even like the product, but I did it because I was desperate and I needed money. And so I said, F it. and I went off and did my own thing. And the story is there from there. But I mean, let's jump into the fire, man. Let's bring your audience what they want, the tactics, the good stuff, the sauce. My story, I come from humble beginnings, but I was very blessed. My parents gave me a lot of resources. And so to me, I have a duty to succeed based on what my parents gave to me. So I don't really take credit for my early beginnings, because honestly, I got really lucky and fortunate to have such great family and friends behind me. Real talk. Okay, well, let's do this. Why don't you show us what you do from a personal brand standpoint by looking at my website, Jayson Wyner, JAYSONWYNER.com. And I want you to go through it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you would suggest, and then we'll go and we'll do a what level of realness do you want, Jayson?
I want you to be real, man. People want real. I just watched you. I said entertain, educate, and what was it? Execute.
Execute.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's get a one-on-one from Billy. This is exciting. Okay. This is entertaining. Tell me.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So I just put up your website right here. Cool. So first things first is I would never consult on anything without asking a bunch of questions. And what you guys will learn is that's 90% of the battle of business is investigation. A lot of people skip this step. So is it cool, even though I'm being interviewed, do you mind if I ask you some questions, Jayson?
Yes, let's make it happen.
Okay, gotcha. So Jayson, number one, what do you sell in one sentence like I'm in 5th grade?
Wow, what a great question. I came from nothing. I built this successful business, and you can do it too. And all you need is to follow a roadmap, which I create through my book, through my coaching, through my speaking. And, I'm not special. I started with nothing, and I started in my parents' games room. I just hustled. I worked hard.
Who is most likely to buy your stuff?
Could be a high-end athlete, somebody who's hit a plateau. Maybe it's an entrepreneur who's, starting out. Maybe it's more of a successful guy.
What's your greatest skill?
Closing. I got you here, right? Billy the Genius, right? Right?
Yeah. Okay. So the other question is if you died tomorrow, what do you want to be remembered for?
For the people that I've helped, for the memories that I've made with people, for the happiness and the joy that I've brought to people's lives.
Okay. So here's what I would say before looking at your website. So my specialty and my strength isn't everything by any means. What I'm really good at is paid advertising, right? So I am good at running an advertisement to someone who's never heard of me or whoever, the company, and turning that person into a buyer. And that science and that art is what I focus on. So when I go through your website, I look through it with that lens, not from how you represent yourself, even those things factor in, but that's not my thing. I can go that direction, but that's not where I really deliver the most value. So me asking you those questions, if I were to ask in real time, all of the listeners right now, hey, everybody, what does Jayson do? Would they be able to tell you?
No.
That is where I come in. Is that so when I come here and I even go to your website, right? And I say, hey, for those who feel they deserve more, unlock the winning formula to 10x your business, body, and life. Literally what that message is says, hey, everybody who wants to be better, call me, which genuinely is in your heart and your passion. That's what you want to do. Is you want to fucking take the alpha, as you explained. You want to take the world by storm. You want to do the damn thing, and you want to fucking go. I can feel it. I can see it by how you describe yourself. I can tell it what it is, your legacy answer, etc. So your messaging is just like that. The problem is it doesn't attract anybody because of message fatigue in the marketplace right now. So I'll ask you, Jayson, If I were to pull up my phone and I go on Facebook right now and I start scrolling and I start looking, how long before I see somebody else have a very similar message?
Very soon, probably within seconds.
Right. And same with everyone listening, right? They're going to hear that all day long. So, half the battle in marketing is how to stand out. How do you stand out when your message is very similar to the others? Now, if we really dive deep, I'm sure there's all kinds of things that make you different and makes, your story unique and et cetera. However, the problem is if I go to your website, like I don't know exactly what I'm getting. You know what I mean? And that clarity is the hardest thing when I've dealt with business coaches, life coaches, et cetera. That's the challenge. Honestly, if your website looked like ass and it looks good, but if your website looked like ass and everything was completely in disarray, but in one sentence I look and I knew what you'd sell, I'd tell you 2 thumbs up. And that's the whole game, right?
I want you to,
so, and by the way, like, yeah, go ahead.
I want you to tell me,
Jayson.
Because your specialty is marketing and paid marketing, right? So
yes,
I'm about to launch this book, okay? And I'm considering you as working with Billy right now, okay? You go to my book, let's go, okay? You can see it there, the green, right? And are you going to create, for people who don't know, what you do, right? If I said to you, okay, listen, I love what you're saying. I'm a busy guy. I don't got the time to do the marketing. Billy, here's my book. This is what I stand for. I want to give you the product. What are you thinking? I know you said you need to ask questions, but are you thinking you're going to, what's your game plan? Give me a strategy. I want you to sell this book.
Yeah, I'll literally give it to you right now. So my question is what's your goal with your book? Is it to just get it out to the masses, or are you trying to make money with it?
My goal, number one, is to get it out to make a difference. So that's my impact, social, global.
Got you. So what I would tell you if you want me to sell this book, I would actually ask you 4 specific questions. I would say, how big is your email list?
My email list is about 16,000 personally.
How many followers you got on? I would say, how many followers do you have on your Instagram?
Maybe just over 12,000, 12,500.
And so what I'm doing from a marketing standpoint is I'm trying to identify how much distribution that we have. And the reason why I'm going there is because I'm trying to figure out give me a quantitative number. How many of these books would you like to sell?
I want to sell 10 million copies. 10 million.
10 million copies. Got it. So if you want to sell 10 million, that means majority of your sales will come from cold traffic, people who have never heard of you before. So then the next part of my brain says, all right, to do that, 10 million people. Well, one, we can reach those through using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube ads. Like the volume will be there. But then if you're really selling direct response, 5% or 2% of the people, that means you have to show your ads to 100 million people. And to do that is going to cost you a substantial amount of money. So this is my brain. I'm speaking out loud to you, right? I wouldn't say all of this to a client, but I'm going through. And then I say, okay, we're selling to cold traffic. And then also too, the other question is how big is your budget? For you, do you need to make money on these books? Or are you willing to lose X amount of money giving away the book, et cetera?
If we were in a negotiation, right, and this were a real negotiation, because I want it to be this, I think this is super valuable, and I think people are getting a lot of value from this.
Yeah.
I would say to you, I'm going to give you 20 grand, okay? Do what you want with it. Surprise me. You got 30 days, right? And show me some value. And then I would basically say, if you do a good job, and I will quantify that by saying, first, I would ask you a question. Hey, Billy, here's my product.
Yes.
Here's the 20 grand. What can I expect from this? Based on your track record, I know
that's a great question. This actually is a dope example because there's a bunch of learnings here. And again, we're role playing and I'm giving all the examples. I would tell you, I would not take you on as a client. That's what I would say. Because what I will end up doing, Jayson, is building your entire business. And right now, there's so many freaking variables, right? I got to market this thing and I got to figure out who to sell it to, how to get to the masses. One, if it's a brand new thing that's coming out, we're pushing it, how many pieces of content do you have to sell it?
I love that psychologically. You just made me want to do business with you even more by saying no to me. So what's it going to take? My next question.
But that wasn't my plan. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. But that wasn't my thing.
I love it. So why don't you tell me how much capital?
So that's an important question, though. Well, even outside of that, this is the big question: is the book, right? Like, what content do you? This is called content assessment. Like, so for example, whenever you sell anything, for you to sell it, you need to have some kind of content to sell it. A picture, a video, explain a commercial, something. You need a sales mechanism. So for me, it's how many sales mechanisms do we have to sell the book to make somebody want it? Right? Do we have any videos that sell it? Do we have any, sales letters that explain the value of it?
Yeah, let's do that. I have an amazing foundation archive, and this is a question I'm pretty sure you're going to get from people, and I think it's valuable. If I have a video where I think it's good, but I want you to make it better, right? Which I do. I have a video, that's a very good video. It shows my story. It talks about, it starts quick, in your face, tells people how I started from nothing, goes through the 9 steps, and shows them what they need to do. But it needs a little bit of finessing. It needs that Billy on it. It needs you to get in there, tighten it up. And then I don't have the time to be paying attention. So if I give you this, and I have, as you can probably see, a pretty good, eye for detail. So I'm not going to be handing you shit. I'm going to be giving you something that's going to be like a strong A.
Yes.
But it's not it doesn't tell the story fully. The execution is 75%. I need that 25. I like to say to people, like, if I were working with you, I'd say let's walk before we run, and let's run before we sprint. So when it comes to my money, I would say, how much do I need to call it test with you for you to be like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? That's a good number, right? Here's what I have. What do we have to start with? What's the initial starting point? And what is how many days after can we talk about an evaluation?
Sure. Well, I understand what you're asking, but I'll put it to you in this way. The answer is no fucking idea. Because the truth is, when we start selling this book to cold traffic, our cost per sale, it's $19.95, I see it in here for the pre-order. Our cost per sale is probably going to be $40. The truth is, when using paid ads to a cold traffic that's never heard of you, the math almost never works unless you have a viral video, because it's just so fucking cheap. So for example, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it may cost me $1 per click. Getting 1 out of 20 people to pay $20 for someone they don't know yet at this moment, it has nothing to do with you. You could be great, right? They don't know yet. They've never heard of you before. Getting 1 out of 20 to do that is like lightning striking in the world of digital marketing. It's just not going to happen. So what I would tell you is kill this price. And if you want a chance at making paid ads working for it, you got to give that shit away. Because the goal here is the value is created after the experience. Like, the book is probably dope. I can tell how passionate about it you are. But until someone reads the damn book, they don't know that. So they're not going to pay for it because they haven't read it. So what I would tell you is we got to give the book away for free. We got to give away the book for free. You can pay for shipping, and then we got to upsell a bunch of shit on the back end. And that's the only way I would ever approach a book funnel. And then the challenge with that is most people don't have those back ends to sell anything yet. They don't have a group coaching program or other books to downsell, an audio book to record. There's nothing. So the math just doesn't work. So there's no amount of money budget that you can give me for a test to make the workload to create all the things necessary to do. So what I would tell you from a consulting standpoint is this: invest into a full-time employee who does nothing but creates content and makes ads for you so you can start selling this shit.
Great piece of advice. Great piece of advice. If you were, out there for people like myself who's going to start, they want to work with you, right? How does somebody get the opportunity to work with you? Like, give us the, what's the criteria?
At this point, I would, right? And I'm unique, so I don't want to. So first of all, you guys, because I didn't go into my story and I skipped that. My background is agency, work with some of the largest franchises in the world. You guys have heard of most of them. And my focus is lead generation, ads, did that for 6 years. I teach people. We're heavy into education, rivaling school. I have almost 100,000 students in 75 countries. Like, that's my background. This is what I do. So for me personally, to stop my business to build out another one, I would only do it for equity or a stupid amount of money. It wouldn't even there. And even then, I'd probably still rather work on my own mission and my own.
Let me ask you a question.
So for me to do it personally, I probably wouldn't. Yeah.
What do you want now? Like, where you're at right now in the next
That's a good question.
Year?
My focus is a TV show. It's not money at all. So we just invested into a sprinter. Literally, it shows up tomorrow or Saturday. I spent almost, I think, $200,000 on a sprinter. completely customize, so we can carry all our camera equipment like Xboxes and their TVs to go around from city to city to go to small businesses and take over their business and record the content. Use that, record it for a year. We'll use that front end ads to sell our trainings, and then we will leverage the reach that we get from there to pitch to networks.
Wow. That was great. That was great insight. I want you to take me through the Nutrabolics brand as a brand. From a personal brand, I think that was amazing. I think a lot of people will get value from that. But if you wouldn't mind, go to say like the Nutrabolics Instagram.
All right. So I'm on Nutrabolics Instagram. Now, what's your question?
Now let's take it to a brand conversation. Like, I'm coming to you as a brand. I want you to be, give us some value to not just for us, but for anybody who's considering working with you as a brand.
Is there a main product that you sell here with Nutrabolics? Is there one bestseller that really kills it more than the rest?
The HydroPure protein is pretty strong, and there's quite
the HydroPure protein.
Yeah.
Why do people like that?
The taste and the quality is. I'm not even just saying this. There's so many freaking supplement companies. It's insane. But my repeat buy is like 90%. Like, people love it. Like, it's honestly.
So once they try it, they're in.
Game over. Like, honestly, like I say to people, bring every brand here and try mine. And then I don't have to say another word. Hey,
Jayson, good job. You just made your ad. When it comes to winning on the competitive landscape, especially in a very crowded industry, as you know, extremely new people every day, the whole game, and this is, people have to hear me when I'm telling you this, the whole game is offers. Who has the best offer? Period. Like, and that is the thing that makes things go. Like, when Dollar Shave Club, they came popping, it was $1, right? Dollar Shave Club. Like, the offer is what makes things go. But then also, too, to have a good offer, you got to have desire, right? You got to have desire. And so to me, it's to stand out. Like, if I'm doing anything with this and we're coming in to really look to kick it up, I want to figure out, how can we give that away for free plus shipping? Can we let someone try it for free? Hey, here's the deal. My name is Billy Jean, and I know there's a gazillion protein companies out there that tell you they have the best stuff. Blah, blah. Who cares? Try mine. You can look at the ingredients here. They check out whatever. Who cares? Try it. It is the best you've ever tasted. By the way, if you don't believe me, listen to these guys. And then I show them a roll of all the people that they'll recognize in their industry and trying it, reacting to it, and then saying, hey, do you want to try yours for free? They play. Then you give it to them for free, a free plus shipping model. They got to pay the shipping. And then you upsell them packs on the back end. So, hey, try this. You get it for free. Just pay $9.95 for the shipping, whatever the number is. Okay. And then once they do that, the one-click upsell is to say, you already got a sample. Would you like to just include 3 more boxes at this discounted rate or whatever? I wouldn't even, outside of doing something different like that, and I just pulled that from my app, I wouldn't even touch it. Because you can't just go to normal battle. The math just rarely works. Again, unless you have a viral video or something.
I love that. That's a lot of value.
I'm going to charge you for this podcast.
No, honestly, come on. I spent my time thinking about this. I watched her. Ed Minette is a smart dude, okay? Yeah. And I watched that podcast, and I said to myself, the one thing that they missed, everything was amazing. Show me. Show me. Yeah. Let me see it. That's why today I'm like, you show me, do this. I think this connects. I think people watching this, because I'm sold. Like, I'm like right now, like, you call yourself Billy Genius, that I believe it now. Like, I'm on board 100%.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
What would be a great TV show? Me versus you with a product. We've got to go out there and sell it in the mall. You'd give me
Jayson, I will fuck you up, Jayson.
Oh, I don't think so. You'd be sweating. They'd be like calling you on how many sales does he have? How many parts of soap has he sold? Like, honestly, like, you're a good salesman. This is how I train salespeople.
That's why you get what you want.
I want to tell you this. This is fun. This is exciting. You know how I train salespeople? If you come to work for me, you want a sales job, you come in, you got this great resume, I say, you're never going to work for me. You can't make it. You want to work for me? You want to work in sales? Come on. You should go. You should leave.
And see how they overcome the objection.
100%. You know how many people shake my hand and say,
you got to see.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wyner.
Probably 70%.
The winners, I had a Marine. I'll tell you a quick story. This guy called me, said, hey, I want this job. I got no sales experience. I'm a discharged Marine. I say to everyone, every single person, no, sorry, you can't make it. Okay. I don't care how great of a salesman you are. No. Calls me again the next week. No. Next week. No. I told my secretary, next time this guy calls, you put him through, right? If this guy calls again, you put him through. Okay. By the 5th call, he calls me. I said, hey, Sean, guess what? He said, what? I'm getting on a plane to LA right now. Right now, Sean. I'm coming to meet you. You're hired. We're going to go to this trade show, and I'm going to give you the USA. He said, what? I said, no, I'm dead serious. Anybody who I say no to 4 times and still calls me, you're a winner. This guy went on to be my number 1 salesman, my top producer. I couldn't even afford color ink. I had to blow dry the lids, okay? I had to put stickers, okay? Listen, you don't even know. I don't even want to tell you half of it. People used to call me, and they'd call for an order, and I'd say, and I'd be in my parents' house, and they'd say, oh, do you have any of this? I'd say, oh, my God, I don't know if we have any in stock. Can you hold on a second? I'd put them on hold for like a minute. I get back on you know what? It's your lucky day. You know what? I got
because we got 3 more left.
We got 12 of each, 15% off, but I don't want to get in trouble. Don't tell my boss. Whatever you do, don't tell him because I don't want to get fired. Okay? I need this job. Long story short, that's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was like early on in the game, right?
Love it though.
You got to hustle. Like when you're starting out, like it's like go time. Like you talk about 600 calls, right? I'm like the same way. I was like in my car. They're like, I get an order. I go drive home. I come back in an hour. They're like, what? I go get the product at my house. Okay. I fill my car up. If I show up at your store, I bring every flavor. You'd be like, who is this guy?
I love it, man.
Because people would say, those sales reps that show up and the customer's like, oh, can I try a chocolate? And then some of these sales reps would be like, oh, yeah, we'll mail it to you. You just lost 2 weeks. I'd be like, yeah, sure.
I'll be right there.
Take it up. I'd put it in their mouth. I'd bring the order down on the table, get them to sign right there. And we did this. Imagine doing this 13 times a day, right? You know how many people said no to me? I would hear no 100 times a day.
So you know what's funny about your come up and like similar to mine, but like I did it digital, right? Because my whole thing has been advertising the whole shit, right? So my hustle was instead of the free sample, I would go to websites and I would go to pages like this, and I would do short screen capture videos where I'm on webcam like this, and I'd have my microphone, and I would go to companies and I'd be like, here's what I would change, and I would send to them and say, if you want to do business, give me a call. And then I would call them and I'd be like, hey, did you see my video? Oh, like watch it right now. They're like, okay, I'll call you back. No, I'll wait on the phone. Just watch it right now. Get it. And that's how I built my business from the beginning. And then I started advertising and never went outside again, like, relative to that. But yeah, that was the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, my thing too is like trying it and then getting people in front of it. Even right now, I got you looking at me. You had no idea who I was. Now you know who I am. You know who my brand is. Like I break down the barrier, right? Because people do podcasts. I got to think about how can I create massive value, for my listeners, right? Like you create a lot of value, but what we're doing today, this is real. Like this
smart.
This is what people want. Like,
well, and also too for me, it's fun, right? Imagine like you do interviews, everyone has the same boring questions, and I get to do this. I'm like, yeah. Like, and by the way, like I love being put on the spot. This is all I do every day.
I don't like to bet money, but I'm going to make you a bet, $5,000 bet to your charity of choice. Okay. Anytime you want a sales showdown, new product, new customer list, okay? And I'm calling you out. I'll bring it. I'm saying it honestly.
What state are you in?
I'm in Vancouver.
You're you're in Vancouver.
And I was going to say
when we go on the road with the Sprinter, we'll stop by and we can have some fun.
We'll stop by. We'll go to the mall. Okay. We'll each pick a product that we got to sell for each other. We'll give ourselves an hour. And whoever can sell the most of this product wins. I will donate $5,000 to your charity of choice if you beat me. Okay?
That'd be fun. Okay. However, then we do another challenge, right? And we can do same thing, pick a product, etc. But I get to use my laptop and my brain, and we get to do the same thing and see who wins in 72 hours.
You know what? I'm on. It's on. You obviously haven't seen my video content. You haven't seen my video content. I'm a pretty savvy guy. You haven't watched any of my videos. You haven't.
Hey.
You haven't.
Watch this. Like your confidence in your sales game, dude. You give me a product in the internet, I will sell any. That's what I do. That's my whole thing. So like your game is probably stronger like in person right now. I'll still beat you, but like your game is probably stronger. However, my game of like you give me a video in any platform and like 100, that's what I do. That's like I have probably had more hands-on experience with that and dealing with different businesses than, I don't want to say everyone on the planet because it's not true, but most people on the planet of doing that. And so,
no,
yeah, man, we got to have some fun. That would be great content.
All right, man. Thanks again.
All right, brother.
Okay, take care.
I appreciate you, man. That was fun.